So, alright, so hello all. This is by the lead PvP designer, Brian Wheeler. So Brian Wheeler actually pretty much took over for, I think, overall combat design after Robo left. So for those of you who don't know who Robo is, he was a former combat dev, not very well liked by a lot of people, especially PvPers. But Brian Wheeler sort of just took over, I think, almost everything as a lead combat designer. I think so, unless I'm thinking about someone else. I'm pretty sure it's Brian Wheeler. All right. We like to take some time to go over our goals. So I think for sure all the feedback about the bugs and the terrible performance in Cyrodiil, even battlegrounds and even in instances like trials, have been very noted by ZeniMax. I mean, it's not like they're deaf or ignorant as to what's going on. I can assure you, because I pretty much give them, well, me and the other class reps give them quite a bit. I mean, it's like beating a dead horse. I think Outcast said it in one of his community posts. Like, there's no point in bringing up performance fixes anymore to them because they know. It's like, so I think I have pretty great hopes for Q1, Q2, and whatever happens after that, because this is like part of their performance fixes. So for update 25, the combat team's primary focus has been on performance improvements, particularly related to block and item set proc conditions. So I think a lot of people are confused about this block part. They kind of did word it a little bit weirdly. Let's see. We are also bringing any item sets affected into combat standards. So just a reminder that their standards they've shifted the goalpost a little bit on this subject in terms of, okay, well, how much should an AoE damage skill do? How much should a single target damage over time ability should do? If you guys remember update, 22, 23, we've been there. We've seen the pendulum swing back and forth between, okay, the dots are too weak, the dots are too strong, and we're back where we kind of started. So a lot of people view it as a waste of time, but they've definitely shifted the goalpost, and that's what you're referring to here as well. But basically, in terms of the AoE damage over time effects or skills, I think they're pretty much gonna make it better for sustain, as they say over here later on. In regards to block, I keep bringing it up. They explain about the animations of block canceling or blocking. We're adjusting how the ability works under the hood. Blocking creates a lot of traffic. I think a lot of people are memeing this because, people are pointing out, well, does jumping cause a lot of traffic for the server? I mean, if they say it's causing a lot of traffic for the server, then it's causing a lot of traffic for the server. And if they're optimizing it and trying to fix it, I mean, good on them. Whatever, it's better than nothing, I suppose, at this point. And I don't think block is the singular reason as to why Cyrodiil is shit. I don't think that's what they're saying here either. But I think they're going to give block the same treatment as they did sprint and mount sprint. So that's pretty cool that perhaps it'll be a better... better improvement on the interaction between your client and the server in a way as well. So I'm kind of excited to see what they'll do with block and what block canceling animations will feel like. I have some, maybe call me like paranoid, but I am kind of scared. But they did get the mount sprint and the sprinting right, so I have some faith that they won't fuck this up too hard. And they even mentioned here, by refactoring block much the same way we did sprint in the previous update, we expect the usage of that ability to be more performant. Alright, and then the last part, we've been focusing on bug fixes and conditional logic. Item set and ability procs are basically trying to streamline how certain item sets, it seems, needs to be better at processing in terms of server performance, what's going on exactly in the game. They even give an example here about Skating Mage proccing on the first tick of a dot when it shouldn't be. Reflective scales will not be working anymore versus channeled effects such as Radiant Destruction. So I guess there's going to be a huge item set audit by judging from what they're saying here at the end. While making these fixes, many of the item sets affected have also been updated to fall in line with our item set or ability standards. So I'm pretty excited about this part too, because it means shit sets like, where the fuck is it? Do I even have it on? Oh my god. Okay, wait.
It's here.
Take me to the river, dry me down and let my bones shiver. Skip the next level, you know I'm an American rebel, singing with the devil.
Oh, muted after shit says. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. I was basically saying I'm pretty excited about the fact that they may be updating the sorry, I was muted. The shit sets like Adept, Rider, Elysius Bulwark, the old sets, his Spark, like, you know what I mean. So I'm pretty excited that they will potentially update a lot of those sets. Hopefully they update a lot of those sets, because those sets definitely need a rework. A lot of sets need a lot of rework, especially craftable sets. Also, like the recent item set updates they did in terms of like willpower, potentates, and so forth, were actually pretty decent. So I hope the changes they have in mind maybe will fall in line with what kind of changes we saw in the past 3 updates for item sets. Otherwise, so for the last point, we are addressing magic and stamina sustain. So back a while ago, we were addressing magic. What the fuck was that? Oh, that was my website. Okay, so back a while ago in September, this was brought up quite a bit by a lot of you guys, and we also forwarded this in a meeting, in a class rep meeting. And where the fuck is it? Stamina and magic sustain disparity is huge, particularly in PvE as well. I know some PvPers have complained to me about magic sustain in PvP, and the reason for this in particular for PvE is because, well, stamina's got off balance, stamina's got definitely cheaper rotations in comparison to Magicka, and wall is expensive, like everything's expensive. So I think they're addressing that right here with the Magicka and stamina sustain disparity, where longer fights or prolonged damage in specific areas are required. With that in mind, we are reducing the cost of area of effect damage over time abilities, but they're keeping the damage the same. So I think that's, they hit the mark on this one. They are reducing the cost, but they're keeping it the same. They're not swinging the pendulum too much anymore, like we saw in update 22 and 23. That was awful. Oh no, the dots are weak. Oh, the dots are too strong. The dots are too weak. The dots are too strong. So finally, they're making up their mind, and I'm glad that they're sort of addressing this sustained disparity. This does result in a revised standard between, and again, this goes back to what they said earlier, and what I said earlier about them shifting the goalposts. I mean, that's fine. Like, they don't have to have a solid standard to abide by. They're the developers. They can change their standards whenever they want, as long as it's for the better. I don't really give a shit what their standards are. But hopefully this is going to be a pretty cool change as well. Again, our focus for update 25 is primarily on performance updates and bug fixing, which you'll see in more detail when we publish the patch notes. And like I said earlier during the stream, I plan on trying to get at least 1 or 2 other class reps in a video with me, and we're going to review the class, we're going to review the PTS patch notes together in the video. So I think that'd be fun. And also, I think having multiple perspectives on the patch notes, particularly from both PvE and PvPers, are going to be pretty cool. And I can't really wait until the PTS comes back up. Also, for those of you, and I even like brought this up, some sets will get nerfs because there is no reason it should be good. Shall I hold my breath for Stamswork buffs, or will I get another pet? So even if they told me what they were going to do, I wouldn't be able to tell you because I'm under the non-disclosure agreement. However, it seems like from what they're saying for update 25, it doesn't seem to be any huge changes. It seems like it just seems to be performance improvements, item set updates, and addressing the magic stamina sustain disparity, and also yeah, definitely the block thing is gonna be. I think hopefully it won't be like drastically fucked up, but I think it will be fine. Hopefully, judging from what I've seen with how they handled the sprint and the mount sprint very well, both on the PTS and the live server. Anyway, sort of the last part of the thing. This part annoys me a lot, and I even like said in several discords, don't even ask me, it's fake. And people were like, what are you talking about? And then there's these fucking fake ass PTS patch notes people make every fucking patch now for some reason. I guess it's a trend. I guess it's something we're gonna deal with for the rest of our lives as long as we're playing ESO. But these are fake, so don't be fooled. Some people have actually PM'd me outraged or like happy with these patch notes. They're like, oh man, finally ZeniMax is doing something great again. Oh fucking ZeniMax, what are they doing? Are they fucking like stupid? These are fake. Obviously, like if you think these are real, I mean, come on. Does this look like Gina's handwriting? Well, not handwriting, but writing style to you? If this was Gina, I'd fucking fire her. Look at that capital T after the comma, dude. That's the first thing. That's the first thing I saw. I actually saw this before I saw this, and that's the first thing I saw was this. I'm like, that's fucking fake, dude. That's fucking. I didn't even read any of it. I only read that fucking capital T, and I was like, that's fucking fake, dude. Gina wouldn't mess up on that. Sure, she gets misspellings right, but she doesn't mess up capitalization. All right, yeah. So that's pretty much it for the update 25 combat adjustments. Pretty excited about the PTS. People have been asking me when the PTS is going to come out, and I think as other content creators have noted, it's probably going to come out around the late January this month, probably. Or at the latest, early February, judging from past PTSs, from past PTS cycle releases. So probably expect me to make a lot of PTS videos on a lot of the changes. I'll definitely make a YouTube video with the other class reps, hopefully, if we can all get a schedule cleared for that video to go over the patch notes. But yeah, thanks for tuning in today's stream, guys. That's pretty much it for today. Thanks for watching that. Sunspire Ornament. Progression. It's progression, it's rough, but